Hello and welcome back to WWE 2K20 Universe Mode and the final episode of Monday Night Raw before we get to the Royal Rumble. And of course, in our main event tonight, we will be determining the number 30 participant in the Men's Royal Rumble. After Raw winning at Survivor Series, well, they got to choose the number 30 competitor in both Royal Rumbles. The Women's Rumble, well, it's going to be a surprise according to Batista, but the Men's Rumble, in our main event, a fatal four-way match to determine the number 30 competitor. But we will be kicking things off with Kevin Owens taking on Apollo Crews. Two men who are entering themselves into the Royal Rumble looking to gain some momentum before going into it. Because Kevin Owens has a lot of other problems. Lots of people surrounding here at the moment, still going on with this rivalry with AJ Styles. These two men still going back and forwards. Of course, we saw AOP, Kevin Owens' private security team, being able to defeat the club to win the Raw Tag Team Championships 2 weeks ago. And this is far from over between those two men, but they will be meeting inside of the Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens when those two men come face to face. But tonight, can Apollo Crews get a huge win over Kevin Owens and prove that he is a worthy competitor to potentially win that Royal Rumble? This would be a massive, huge win for Apollo Crews if he can get it. But before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, because you do not want to miss out on the Royal Rumble coming up very, very shortly indeed. And of course, WrestleMania and all the other stuff that's coming up is going to be very exciting, and you do not want to miss out. Leave a comment down below as well. Let me know who you think is going to win the Royal Rumble. But let's get back to the action hand. Kevin Owens taking it to Apollo Crews early on here, catching him, knocking him down to the man, now taking advantage of the fact that Apollo Crews is downed. And Kevin Owens not letting up, straight into a German there, taking down Apollo Crews again, trying to go for a chop, but this time Apollo Crews grabbing from behind, kick to the back of Kevin Owens. Of course, later on tonight we will also be seeing Aleister Black making his return to action after what happened last week on Monday Night Raw. He will be teaming up with Finn Balor to take on Gloriously Strong. But we're going to see what Batista has to say after what happened last week. Aleister Black coming out, attacking Batista in his private office, hitting him with a black mass. Well, Batista and Andrade and Randy Orton, they've had quite a lot of issues with Aleister Black and with Tyler Bate and Finn Balor as of late. We're going to have to see what this means. If Batista is going to make a match official for the Royal Rumble or not, we will find out later tonight. We're also seeing our WWE Champion Sheamus in action. Now he will be having a word about who he will be facing at the Royal Rumble. Of course, after dismissing the challenge of Drew McIntyre, deciding that he does not want to face Drew again after he managed to win the championship at TLC over Drew McIntyre. But we'll be hearing from Sheamus and seeing him in action later on. And of course, we will also be finding out who Shayna Baszler will be defending her Raw Women's Championship against at the Royal Rumble. Miss Money in the Bank cashed in successfully at TLC, and while she will be defending that championship at the Royal Rumble, and we'll be finding out later on who she will be defending it against. Apollo Crews with a big drop kick there, taking down Kevin Owens, taking down to the man. They're going up top, looking for something high risk. We're waiting for Kevin Owens to get in a suitable position for the move. Big diving elbow to the chest of Kevin Owens, managing to take him back down. Apollo Crews needing to take advantage of this momentum he has right now, but perhaps being a bit slow, allowing Kevin Owens to get back up, but instead Apollo Crews managing to trick Kevin Owens, getting him back down, punches to the face of Owens, and now into the pinfall. Only a 1 count there for Apollo Crews, still needs to do a lot more damage to Kevin Owens in this one. Like Kevin Owens, you can't look past this man. He has not been able to pick up the big WWE Championship as much as he would like to believe that he has. Of course, he stole the WWE Championship for a few weeks, but that does not mean that he was ever officially the WWE Champion. He stole that belt from his best friend Sami Zayn, then of course went on to lose to Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. Sami Zayn retaining the championship before being cashed in on by Mr. Money in the Bank, Drew McIntyre. And after that point, Kevin Owens used his goons, the AOP, to take out Sami Zayn. It was supposed to be a triple threat match a Clash of Champions. It was supposed to be Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a triple threat for the WWE Championship. But Kevin decided he wanted to even the odds for that match. And well, he went and took out Sami Zayn. He went and broke the arm of Sami Zayn. And as you see, Kevin Owens, he still wears this Sami Zayn picture on his chest with a big cross through it, saying that Sami is no more. Sami is never going to be back. Well, it's not looking good for Sami Zayn. Let's be honest, he is still injured, just not been back since Clash of Champions. Well, before Clash of Champions, obviously. He is still not returned. And pop-up powerbomb, but wait a second. Apollo Crews bringing down Kevin Owens with a Hurricane Run and being able to catch Kevin Owens off guard completely. And now, is he going to be able to finish this off? Instead, a running clothesline to the back of the head of Kevin Owens. And Apollo Crews celebrating to the crowd. Maybe not the wisest idea right now. Needing to keep up on Kevin Owens right now. He can't let go. He can't stop right now. This is the opportunity he was looking for. Huge clothesline, turning Kevin Owens inside out. 1, 2. Only a 1 count there. Kevin Owens still being able to kick out on instinct. Big suplex attempt, but Kevin Owens reversing. Being able to take Apollo Crews over and down. And now Kevin Owens looking to take himself back in control of this match. Getting Apollo Crews into the corner. And what is he thinking here? Pushing him down to the mat and... oh, very nice. Dropping down on them, using the speed and momentum to be able to do extra damage to Apollo Crews. Now up to the top rope for a huge frog splash. Straight down Apollo. 1, 2. But Apollo managing to kick out, not giving up that easily. Refusing to give up. He wants to prove himself here tonight. He's looking for an opportunity. He's looking to prove that he is deserving of being in the main event scene here on Monday Night Raw. But Kevin Owens is a difficult competitor. You can't forget he beat AJ Styles at TLC. He defeated him. Like, that was such a hard-fought match between those two men, but Kevin Owens managed to come out on top. And I think he was trying to go for a stunner there. But Apollo Crews grabbing the leg, not allowing the stunner. Apollo Crews has really done his homework on this one. He has been checking out all of Kevin Owens' signature moves. 1, 2. Kevin Owens almost getting in with a roll-up there. But as I was saying, Apollo clearly been looking out at Kevin's moves, wanting to know the moves that are going to put him away. He's been able to counter that pop-up powerbomb, and he's been able to counter that stunner. Now, once again, knowing that Kevin Owens probably looking to put him down for that cannonball, Apollo Crews getting Kevin Owens up, powerbombing him down to the mat. The strength of Apollo Crews. This is really a standout performance from Crews here tonight. Only a 1 count though on Kevin Owens after that big powerbomb. And now Kevin Owens trying to go for a drop kick, but Apollo Crews just out of the way. Kevin misjudging his timing. And now Apollo trying to take advantage, but Kevin Owens reversal punch to the gut. And this time he catches him. 3rd time lucky for Kevin Owens. The stunner. 1, 2, 3. And good night, Apollo Crews. But what a match for Apollo Crews. He tried so hard in that one. And you never know, he could surprise us all in the Royal Rumble. You never know. But Kevin Owens, Apollo Crews, both men probably going to meet again in that Rumble maybe, if the fates line up, of course. But Kevin Owens certainly saying that he would like to win the Rumble and make his way to WrestleMania, to the main event, to finally get his hands on the WWE Championship. But he has a lot of enemies to worry about, and here is one of them right here. AJ Styles from behind, taking down Kevin Owens, getting revenge for last week. Of course, in the main event, it was AJ versus Randy Orton. After Aleister Black attacked Batista in the backstage area, we came back to the ring on Kevin Owens. He was attacking AJ Styles, and these two men still brawling. Kevin Owens managing to fight back, taking down AJ Styles right now, dropping him over the knee. Kevin Owens taking it to Styles. These two men just seem to not be able to stop fighting at the moment. Kevin tried to go for the stunner, but AJ Styles caught the leg, and Kevin Owens trying to get out of there. He is trying to escape AJ Styles right now. But he is too tired, his legs, he is too tired to run away right now. AJ Styles now catching Kevin Owens, catching him. Kevin Owens being too tired after the match he just had with Apollo Crews. But he manages to catch AJ Styles, the fireman carrying Kevin Owens, running away, escaping AJ Styles for tonight. But now we move on to the self-proclaimed greatest WWE champion of all time, our current champion, Sheamus. Of course, winning that championship at TLC in a TLC match against Drew McIntyre when he finally got his hands on Drew after a lot of time of waiting. And Sheamus did not appreciate that in the slightest. And as we heard a couple of weeks ago, Sheamus turning down Drew McIntyre's offer. Drew wanted to fight Sheamus again. He wanted the rematch for the WWE Championship, and Sheamus had no interest in that. He doesn't want to face the same people again and again. He's the greatest WWE Champion of all time. He doesn't need to go and fight Drew McIntyre again. That's what Sheamus believes. And while Sheamus, I've been told he's going to be having some words after this match, after he goes one-on-one with No Way Jose, and it's good to see No Way Jose doing okay after the beatdowns he's taken over this series of Universe modes, but he is here tonight taking on the WWE Champion. Probably going to be a very one-sided affair for the WWE Champion, but Sheamus is going to have some words about who he's going to be fighting at the Royal Rumble. And Sheamus in this match taking it straight away to No Way Jose, dropping the knee over the throat of No Way Jose, trying to block his airways, trying to make it difficult for him to be able to catch his breath. And Sheamus did not relent at all, taking it to No Way, slamming those fists into the face of Jose. And there seemed to be no way that Jose was going to be able to win this one. White noise to No Way Jose, and Sheamus then setting up for that bro kick in the corner. You know what this means. There is no way is going to be getting out of that, but he managed to avoid the bro kick somehow, catching Sheamus. Oh my goodness, this could be the upset of the century. Can he do it? 1, 2, oh, so close, and yet so far for No Way Jose. He had his one opportunity to be able to defeat the WWE Champion and make himself a star, but unfortunately it is not working out that way for No Way Jose tonight. Caught by Sheamus again for those Irish curse backbreakers, and this time you know he's probably not going to miss a second time. Sheamus ain't going to be happy if it does. Throwing him into the ropes, bro kick the referee down, but the referee managing to get back up to his feet nice and quickly to be able to count the full 1, 2, 3. And a big win here tonight for Sheamus as he continues to show why he is the greatest WWE Champion of all time, according to Sheamus. That is what he believes, that is what he has said to the world. And look at this, No Way Jose almost so close to potentially being able to upset the WWE Champion, but it didn't work out that way for him today, unfortunately for him. Sheamus managing to fight back and ending this with the big bro kick to the face of No Way Jose. And now Sheamus, with the microphone in hand, having some words to say to the WWE Universe. As the greatest WWE Champion of all time, I have a huge announcement to make. Not that any of you deserve to see my greatness, but at the Royal Rumble, one man and one woman get the chance to main event WrestleMania. But this will all be overshadowed by a chance at greatness match. One man, any man, can answer my open challenge and attempt to become great by being in the ring with the greatest wrestler of all time, but there is one tiny catch. See, the contract for the open challenge states that if you are whiny, desperate, crybaby, then you can't take the challenge and you'll never be able to face the greatest man alive ever. Sorry, Drew. Whoever answers, I look forward to kicking your arse. Bold words there from Sheamus, and as he has just announced, it will be an open challenge, a chance at greatness, a chance to win the WWE Championship. Who will answer the challenge? We will find out at the Royal Rumble. But now we move forward to tag team competition. Gloriously Strong, the former Raw Tag Team Champions here. They got so close to be able to win the inaugural Tag Team Eliminator Tournament, getting all the way to the Raw Finals before coming up short to Mustache Mountain. The Gloriously Strong here tonight. They're going to be taking on a team which, well, they're not a team, let's be honest. Taking on two individuals. Taking on Finn Balor and Aleister Black. These two men teaming up after what has been going on these past few weeks. Well, these past few months, let's be honest. It has been a rough old time for these guys. Batista, the general manager of Monday Night Raw, as well as his goons, Andrade and Randy Orton, they have been making these guys' lives pretty much hell over the last few months. And Batista has been trying to get rid of Aleister Black's United States Championship for such a long amount of time. He's been doing it since Hell in a Cell. It's been a long time. He's been trying to get the championship off Aleister Black, and finally he succeeded at TLC with Andrade taking away that championship, but only thanks to the interference of The Fiend. But Finn Balor, this man right here, well, he has been having issues with them because they sent Brock Lesnar after him. Finn Balor was the man. He was the man who won Survivor Series for Monday Night Raw. He was the last man standing. He was the one who won the final match. Batista couldn't do it. Batista lost to Shane McMahon, but Finn Balor didn't. Batista, well, he couldn't deal with that. He wasn't happy with that. So, as Finn Balor's reward, other people got championship matches. Finn Balor, well, he got attacked by Brock Lesnar and then was forced into a match where Brock Lesnar decimated Finn Balor at TLC. And with Balor, Black and Tyler Bate, another man who has had a lot of issues with Batista and the way he's been running things on Monday Night Raw, well, they are looking to put an end to all of this. They want to be able to put an end to Batista and his ways once and for all. But tonight they're having a warm-up in case Batista does make a match official. We do not know yet. We're still waiting to hear from Batista, but we do know we will be hearing from Batista by the end of this match. That is what he has promised. And assumedly, he's probably assuming and hoping that Gloriously Strong are able to do a lot of damage to these two men. You never know. It depends really, because obviously Finn Balor and Aleister Black, they haven't teamed up before. They don't know what it's like to team up. Both singles competitors here in Universe Mode. Both of them with a big chip on their shoulder as of recently because of what Batista has been doing to them. And Aleister Black, who knows what's going through his head after being attacked by The Fiend, losing his United States Championship. It has all kind of collapsed for Aleister Black in recent weeks, and like, he's been harassed by Batista for such a long amount of time, and Aleister Black has never gone out of his way to go and specifically attack Batista. It's very out of character for Aleister Black to suddenly be backstage in Batista's office attacking him with multiple black masses. It's just not really what you see from Aleister Black. It's not really his style. So something in him really has been twisted and changed and perhaps broken by losing that United States Championship, losing maybe his respect for himself after The Fiend attacking him. The Fiend getting his revenge after Aleister Black was the only man to stand up to The Fiend. The Fiend, of course, having a big issue with AJ Styles, trying to turn AJ Styles to join The Fiend and the Fiendish Hardy Boys, but didn't manage to work out for The Fiend. Aleister Black came out, confronted The Fiend afterwards, and The Fiend taking his revenge at TLC after a few months of waiting and biding his time, it seems like. But Aleister Black focusing on the primary issue of Batista at the moment before focusing back onto The Fiend. But it is always difficult to deal with The Fiend. The Fiend turns up when he wants to. He will be here on his time. No one Aleister Black wants him to turn up. Roderick Strong getting quite beaten down in the beginning of this match by Finn Balor. He really could do again that tag to Robert Roode right now. Roddy in a bad position. Aleister Black moonsault from the second rope onto Roddy Strong. And then dropping the knee over the back of Roddy. Desperate needs to get out of this. Get that tag to Robert Roode is the way he needs to do this. They need to be using quick tags to try and get the best of these two singles competitors. And finally gets that tag to Robert Roode. Robert Roode, the fresh man in the match, now taking it to Aleister Black. Getting him round the neck, and up he goes for a huge suplex. Over the top, and Aleister Black down. Robert Roode trying to go for the pin, but far too early in this one. Only a 1 count there for Robert Roode. You got to think Gloriously Strong would love to get themselves back to the top of the tag team division. They wanted to get their opportunity of the tag gold again by winning the inaugural tag team eliminator tournament, but unfortunately not being able to win that, not being able to get to the finals. probably going to put them a little bit of a distance from those champions at the moment being. To be fair, who would want to go in there with AOP? AOP, they ain't going to particularly... They don't care if they're going to injure you. They injured Sami Zayn, they broke his arm. They ain't going to care if they injure you in the ring. That doesn't matter to them. They just want to win the match. That's all they care about. So I wouldn't necessarily want to be in there with them if I was Gloriously Strong, to be honest with you. But they would love to get those titles back. And if they don't, who knows what's going to happen with this friendship. It's not particularly the strongest friendship between these two guys. They kind of came together by necessity. They both needed something here in Universe Mode. They needed to try and find their place. Roddy was doing well as a singles competitor at the beginning of Universe Mode, but he needed backup. He needed backup. He was having this big issue with Pete Dunne, and he needed someone to back him up against British Strong Style. Well, that's what brought in Robert Roode. That's what brought in Gloriously Strong. And Gloriously Strong went on to win the Raw Tag Team Championships. Oh, huge cutter there from Aleister Black. But of course, British Strong Style, it is no more as we saw last week. Mustache Mountain's still a thing, but Pete Dunne turning his back on his friends, on his brothers, and taking on a completely new attitude here in Universe Mode. And he will be part of our main event here tonight, looking to get the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble. Aleister Black trying to go for a Black Mass there, but Robert Roode ducking underneath. Glorious DDT, catching Aleister Black. Is that enough? One. No! Oh my goodness. That was the chance. That was the opportunity for Gloriously Strong there. That was their chance to be able to take down. Oh my goodness. So close indeed. As I was saying, Pete Dunne with this new attitude, with his new way of thinking, this new brutal attitude of his. Black Mass again. Black Mass to Robert Roode. And now getting him up again. Second Black Mass. That's got to be it. That has got to be it for Robert Roode. But Aleister Black doing the good thing. Tagging into Finn Balor. Tagging into the tag partner. And Finn Balor up to the top rope for the coup de grace. The finishing touch on Robert Roode. 1, 2, 3. Huge win tonight for Finn Balor and Aleister Black. What a victory for these men. And oh my goodness, I'm getting some huge news right now. I can confirm to you, these men, they will be competing at the Royal Rumble. It is going to be a huge, huge match. It's going to be a 6-man tag. It will be Aleister Black, Finn Balor, and Tyler Bate teaming up to take on Batista, Andrade, and Randy Orton. Finally, these men getting their hands on Batista, just what they wanted, but Batista's general manager position, it is not on the line. He will stay GM no matter what. And now we move on to Mickie James out here, wanting to pick up a big victory here tonight, wanting to prove herself, but she's going up against this woman right here, Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley is an angry woman right now. She is furious after what happened at TLC. She won the Raw Women's Champion. She won the belt. But Shayna Baszler cashing in, taking advantage of the brutal match between those 4 women. Cashing in, taking that championship away from Rhea Ripley. Rhea was looking to prove that she could do it. She's the only 2-time Raw Women's Champion now, even though she only held the championship for about a minute before losing it to Shayna Baszler. And Rhea Ripley, she's coming out here tonight because she wants to prove that she deserves her rematch against Shayna Baszler, and she is furious. She is a woman on a mission to get back the Raw Women's Championship, and she has taken that out on Mickie James in this one. Just look at that stretch that she is putting on the legs of Mickie James, and that strength just to be able to hold her up there like that. But it all came down to this, as you would expect, the riptide from Rhea Ripley onto Mickie James. 1, 2, 3. Huge victory for Rhea Ripley. Well, Rhea Ripley has her eyes firmly set on Shayna Baszler and the Raw Women's Championship. And speaking of Shayna, here she comes, trying to take down Rhea Ripley. Taking down Rhea Ripley. big attack from Shayna Baszler. Shayna not wanting to take any chances here. Just wanting to get rid of Rhea Ripley, knowing that Rhea Ripley is coming after that Raw Women's Championship. Shayna, she wants rid of her. She wants to be done with Rhea Ripley. She doesn't want to have to go one-on-one with her. That is not a position Shayna Baszler wants to be in. Rhea Ripley taking down Shayna Baszler, and Shayna trying to get away, but Rhea Ripley spearing her down into the mat, and Rhea Ripley taking it to Shayna Baszler right now. Shayna must be regretting this. Shayna came out to take it to Rhea Ripley, and instead, Riptide from Rhea Ripley to Shayna Baszler, and Rhea is sending a huge message, and it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's Championship at the Royal Rumble, and Rhea has all the momentum. And we move forward to our main event of the evening, the number 30 position in the Royal Rumble. One of these 4 men will receive the number 30 position. Will it be this man right here, the former WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre? You've seen what Sheamus has been saying, calling out Drew McIntyre, calling him a whiny little baby. And well, I don't think Drew's going to appreciate that. But with Sheamus refusing to give Drew McIntyre a rematch for the WWE Championship, this may be Drew's only opportunity. This may be the only chance he has, is if he manages to get through, going through the Royal Rumble. If he gets the number 30 spot, it's going to be much easier for him. But since losing to Sheamus, things haven't particularly been great for Drew McIntyre. Well, before losing to Sheamus, I should say. Just this whole rivalry with Sheamus has been very bad for Drew McIntyre, and Samoa Joe managed to defeat Drew McIntyre in one-on-one action just for TLC, which was a huge upset for Samoa Joe, and it's what's landed him in this match. He is a man on the rise right now with Samoa Joe. And this man here, now you have to say this is just favoritism. Let's be honest, this is favoritism. Orton doesn't necessarily deserve to be in this match. He lost in the main event last week to AJ Styles, but you know, Batista is the general manager. Randy Orton is one of Batista's boys. He would love for Randy to be able to pick up that victory here tonight. But you got to say, this man right here, this is the dark horse. This is a man who is on a massive change, attacking his former stablemate Trent Seven, and he is brutal. He is absolutely brutal at the moment, being his Pete Dunne, a completely new attitude, looking to rip you to shreds. And well, this man right here, I wouldn't want to be in the ring with him. And straight away, running boot to the face of Samoa Joe. Pete Dunne not holding back at all, taking it to Joe. While Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton go at it, throwing Randy Orton out the ring, taking it down to just 3 men in the ring. Because of course, pinfalls can only happen inside of the ring. This is not Falls Count anywhere. This is just a regular fatal 4-way match. And Pete Dunne, he is on fire at the beginning of this match, taking down Samoa Joe and then taking down Drew McIntyre. And look at this, working down the hand of McIntyre. Oh my goodness, stamping the joints, the fingers of McIntyre. Disgusting. And now, wait a second. Oh my goodness, a pile driver onto Drew McIntyre by Pete Dunne. Oh my goodness, Samoa Joe and Randy Orton going out on the other side of the ring right now. Samoa Joe throwing Randy Orton back into the ring from the outside. And now Drew and Pete on the outside. Samoa Joe and Randy Orton the only guys in the ring right now where it matters. And Samoa Joe having Randy Orton's number right now, pushing his foot into the face of Orton and a big boot into the corner, taking down Orton. Drew McIntyre throwing Pete Dunne around on the outside, trying to get his revenge for that early attack. And Samoa Joe with the crossface locked in on Randy Orton, but Drew McIntyre managing to break it up, and Randy Orton managing to reach for the rope as well. Drew McIntyre almost trying to get something in there, but wait a second, Samoa Joe just attacking the legs of Randy Orton, dropping him legs first, and Pete Dunne getting a kendo stick. Of course, this is no DQ. He can do whatever he wants in this one and getting the kendo stick, attacking Randy Orton. Drew McIntyre and Samoa Joe going out at these two men with their issues after Samoa Joe managed to beat Drew McIntyre a few weeks ago. Quite a surprise victory. But Pete Dunne doesn't have any time. He doesn't care about these two men, just attacking Samoa Joe from behind with the kendo stick, looking to get rid of him as soon as possible. And up Randy goes, dropped onto the kendo stick, and Pete going for the pinfall, but rope break. Drew and Samoa Joe back into the ring now. Both men all three of these men trying to go after Pete Dunne right there. But Drew McIntyre takes advantage of Samoa Joe and his back turned clothesline to the back of the head of Samoa Joe. Just imagine getting number 30 in the Rumble. Wait a second, RKO! RKO! But into the ropes, too close to the ropes. But Randy Orton hitting an RKO out of nowhere on Pete Dunne, catching him completely by surprise, and now Randy Orton thrown over the top rope. But whoever wins this, number 30 position, it is the best position to be in the Royal Rumble. It gives you the best opportunity of winning that Royal Rumble. I would love to be number 30 and make things so much easier. You don't have to go through you have to go through like 2 competitors. Whereas think about the man who has to go in at number 1, you have to go through 29 other people if you want to stand a chance of winning. Those odds, you can't deny those odds. Whoever wins this match, they have such a good chance of being the winner of the Royal Rumble, and I wouldn't be surprised if any of these men won. All 4 of these men have a huge opportunity ahead of them, and all of them are front runners for the Royal Rumble. I know that I say that a lot, there are lots of men. There's probably like a good 10 men who could easily win this Royal Rumble. Like, you look at there's all 4 of these men. There's Bobby Lashley, there's Seth Rollins, there's loads of people who are going after, who are trying to make themselves a name in this Royal Rumble, because main eventing WrestleMania, that is the biggest opportunity. That is what you want. That is what you want to get. That's where you want to be. You want to main event WrestleMania, win the championship. That is the dream come true, and I'm sure any of these men would love that opportunity. Pete Dunne, the only man in the ring right now, has taken down Randy Orton on the outside, but Drew and Samoa Joe just going back and forward with punches and chops, brutally going after each other right now. Trying to go for an RKO there is Randy Orton. Pete Dunne, what is Pete Dunne doing? I don't know what Pete Dunne just did, but Randy Orton RKO to Pete Dunne in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, no! Pete Dunne kicking out of the RKO. Unbelievable there from Pete Dunne. Kicking out of the RKO, but he's still down. He got something out of his pockets, I don't know what it was, but the Glasgow Kiss headbutt to Randy Orton. But Samoa Joe still right there behind Drew McIntyre, not allowing Drew to go anywhere near a pinfall on Randy Orton. Samoa Joe getting Drew on his shoulders. Samoan drop to Drew McIntyre, and Drew forced to roll out of the ring. Samoa goes to the pin, but Pete Dunne breaks it up. Pete Dunne back to his feet after that RKO, catching Samoa Joe. And up he goes, just tossing him down. The strength of Pete Dunne to be able to throw Samoa Joe like that. And now getting Pete Dunne getting Randy Orton up into the bitter end. Samoa Joe's down. Drew McIntyre just getting to his feet on the outside. But Pete Dunne, 1, 2, 3. Pete Dunne is number 30 in the Royal Rumble. This is just what he needed. He has been a man on a mission ever since changing, going against British Strong Style, turning his back on Moustache Mountain. He has been a different, brutal man. And we saw in this one the kendo stick shots, the attacks. I don't know what he was going for. He was going for something in his pocket. I didn't see what it was entirely. But it doesn't matter. He picked up the win, kicking out of an RKO and managing to hit the bitter end onto Randy Orton. And Drew McIntyre not being able to break it up in time. But Pete Dunne is number 30, and he has got to be the man to watch in the Royal Rumble. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you with one SmackDown left, and then it will be the Royal Rumble. Be sure to subscribe to watch it. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.